Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I'm your host, Ricky Green, here for Tide Talk Sports. Today we want to take a look at yet another five-star prospect that the University of Alabama seems to be in very, very good shape with. I'm talking about five-star linebacker Harold Perkins out of Cypress, Texas, Cy Park High School. The number one outside linebacker in the nation, according to the 247 Sports Composite Rankings, and really a young man that Alabama definitely has his interest. We'll take a look at this outstanding young outside linebacker in today's episode of Tide Talk and tell you all about his recruitment. You're not going to want to miss a single minute. We'll get started right now. I want to start this episode of Tide Talk off the same way that we always do. A question for our viewers. Get in the comment section right now and let me know what you think. Will Alabama land a commitment from Harold Perkins? Y for yes, N for no. I'll pin this down in the comment section, and I cannot wait to see what you all think about that. All right, moving right along here, want to take a look at another five-star prospect that the Alabama Crimson Tide seem to be trending for right now. Talking about the number one outside linebacker in the entire country, according to the 247 Sports Composite Rankings, Harold Perkins out of Cypress Park High School in Cypress, Texas. And this kid is an absolute monster. Like I said a few moments ago, the number one outside linebacker and the number 14 overall player in the nation, regardless of position. A very, very impressive athlete, no doubt, and really somebody that could just continue the tradition of fantastic outside linebacker play at the University of Alabama. Now, want to take a few minutes here and talk just a little bit about his recruitment and talk about who's recruiting him and what really is going on right now as far as his recruitment is concerned. But before we get into all that, if you haven't hit that subscribe button just yet, I don't know what you're waiting on. We are so close to having 6,500 subscribers here on our channel, and we need your help to push on through that 6,500 number. If you'll hit that subscribe button right now, I'm fully confident that we'll be able to get there, and I certainly will appreciate it just as surely as the tide will roll. All right, got that out of the way. Let's take a few minutes here and look into the recruitment of the number one outside linebacker in the country, Harold Perkins from Cypress, Texas. Now, two of Alabama's best recruiters from the state of Texas, Jeff Banks and Carl Scott, of course, no longer on the staff. And you would think that may have hurt Alabama with the elite outside linebacker prospect from the state of Texas, but it is business as usual, I'm told. Jay Graham and Pete Golding have done an outstanding job picking up where Coach Banks and Coach Scott left off, and really seem to be in a good shape with one of the best outside linebacker prospects to come out in the past few years. Harold Perkins is absolutely elite, has everything you look for in a true outside linebacker, and somebody that I believe will really make an impact should he choose to commit to Alabama eventually. I think Alabama and Harold Perkins would go together like peanut butter and jelly, and there ain't no doubt about that. Harold Perkins, of course, is 6'2.5", just over 200 pounds, and is a young man that is an edge rushing nightmare. And as he continues to develop physically, I'm sure we'll get even better at his ability to set the edge and be able to become more of a complete prospect at outside linebacker. But regardless, the potential is there, and the potential is absolutely through the roof. Now, a few moments ago, we talked about how Coach Golding and Coach Graham were kind of on this recruitment, really picked up the slack that was left when other coaches departed. But the one coach that Harold Perkins hears from the most seems to be the greatest of all time, Nick Saban. Now, I've said it once and I'll say it again. When Nick Saban gets personally involved in a recruitment, I really like Alabama's chances. If you doubt Nick Saban's recruiting ability after the tenure that he's had thus far at the University of Alabama, then I don't think I'm going to be able to help you at all. When Nick Saban sets his sights on an elite prospect, more oftentimes than not, he lands the big fish that he is after. And Harold Perkins, Nick Saban is most definitely after the elite young outside linebacker from the state of Texas. Hey, real quick here before we start to wrap up this episode of Tide Talk, if you haven't been over to the TideTalkSports.com forums just yet, you should really take a few minutes, head over there and check it out. We want you to join the conversation. We have one right now for football and one for basketball, working on adding a forum for each individual sport at the University of Alabama. And I can't wait to see each and every one of you over there driving the conversation about Alabama athletics that take place at the university that we all love so very much. Do me a favor real quick here. Take just a second and smash that like button for me. That does two things. First of all, it gives me an idea of whether or not you're enjoying the content that we're putting out here on the YouTube channel. And secondly, it forces that YouTube algorithm to recommend our videos more often. More recommendations turns into more views equals more content. A good situation all the way around. Smash that like button for me right now. All right, so in this episode of Tide Talk, we've took a look at yet another five-star prospect that the University of Alabama seems to be in a very good position for, and I don't think that'll be the last five-star prospect that they find themselves in the fight for with this 2022 recruiting class. Will it be as good as the 2021 class? That remains to be seen. That class, of course, was the absolute greatest of all time, so it might be hard to match that. But I do not doubt that Alabama will absolutely be able to put together a top 3 class when everything is said and done. The University of Alabama coaching staff seems to be absolutely lighting the recruiting trail on fire as of late, and I don't anticipate that that will be any different anytime soon. Looking at the most recent commitment, 5-star quarterback Ty Simpson, looking to follow that up this upcoming Saturday with a commitment from a 5-star running back, Emmanuel Henderson. And then I'm sure that there'll be more 5-stars to come after that. Harold Perkins is definitely someone that we need to be keeping an eye on if we're following Alabama football recruiting. It's one of the things that we love to talk about the most here on our YouTube channel, and we look forward to continuing to do so here for you all in our second season of coverage of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Once again, I'm Ricky Green here on the Alabama Football News and Rumors channel, presented by Chat Sports, and we'll see you next time. Roll Tide.